What's up, Magical Misfits? Drew here, and it's time for my yearly haul video. Before we get into it, I just want to have a little caveat here. Some of the things I'm going to be showing you I actually got for Yule. There's a couple things I don't remember when I got them. Some of the things I got in February, and some of the things I got just because we got some tax money and I wanted a few things. So my husband and I celebrate 2 anniversaries. We celebrate the anniversary of our relationship in total, and then there's our wedding anniversary. For me personally, the anniversary that celebrates our relationship in total is more important, and that falls in February, as does my birthday. So February is a good month for me. Basically, that's it. There's quite a few goodies to get into, so let's just jump in. So first off, forgive my nails and the work surface. I actually need to paint this. It's like a mossy green color it's going to be, so it matches my other work surface where I make my candles. We are currently in the process of redoing the studio, and yeah, it's kind of a long ways from being done, but we're getting there. I need lots of shelves for storing everything that goes in here, but it wasn't working the way it was. It was a hodgepodge, mishmash, just making it work. And we are taking the steps to make it a more organized space that works better for us and what we do in here. Okay, so real quick, I just want to show this pentacled trivet that my daughter sent me for Yule. It is the cutest thing ever. I adore it. I love it so much. She also sent me this really cool chunk of obsidian from Oregon, but it's packed away somewhere safely, and when we're able to unpack everything and put it back where it goes, I will see it again. This is another thing that I got for Yule. I don't know if it's gonna fit all the way in frame. It's an A5 size traveler notebook made of leather. You can see it says Book of Heka there. So when I started recording everything, I was just doing it in this composition notebook that I had decorated, and I still use this. I keep lots of notes in here about this, that, and the other, but when I'm ready to transfer them to a more permanent place, this is it. So it's kind of a grimoire. I've got all these little charms on it, which you can't really see right now. So the first part here, this is the hieroglyph for Heka. Heka is both a god and it is also magic. Heka is the god of magic, basically. That's the generally accepted translation of what Heka is magic. And so the first section, there are 3 sections in here. The first section, this section, is obviously Heka and Kemetic related. I've just started putting things in here. This is supposed to represent Heka. I need to glue it in a little better because the edge there, but talking about Zeptepi. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot going on just yet. The second part here, this is the hieroglyph for Ost, for Osset, and this is her section. So, you know, I got this little picture I printed out. So this is a little blurb about her. These are the things that she has dominion over, basically. Her correspondences, and like I'm gonna put her festivals and just any information that is pertinent to her specifically. And I think I'm probably going to put information about other Egyptian deity in there as well. And the third section, this little blue lotus section here, is for me. It's personal. So like the only thing I have in here right now is basically me talking about how this all came about, how I came to this part of my journey with her. And I'm going to put my dedication ritual that I did when I self-dedicated. I'm going to put the amazing dream I had the day that I did that, the morning I woke up for that. I have a oil that I make just for her. Anything that's sort of personal for me and her, and possibly any other deity that come in, because they already kind of are poking in a little bit. So this is basically a grimoire for this specific leg of my journey. I got this book for you, Religion and Ritual in Ancient Egypt by Emily Teeter, and I love this book. It's sort of more analytical, more sort of maybe educational, but I I'm totally fine with that. I want to absorb all the information I can, and it actually gives you really good context. For example, I understand from reading this book that I genuinely cannot understand what it was like to be in an ancient Egyptian mindset, so foreign and removed from a modern mindset, especially in a modern American mindset, that I can never fully, truly understand the world as they did. I find that actually very helpful because it spurs me on to try to get to that space instead of just assuming that they were like us. And in some ways, they very much were, but in many ways, they were nothing like us at all. So it actually helps me sort of suspend my modern American brain a bit and try to, I don't feel like I'll ever get to that space, but I can try to do something different, which I think is helpful. That's just one example. I've learned so many things from this book. So I'm currently reading that. I'm like halfway through that. I'm also reading other books. I'm not sure when I got this book. It may have been before. No, I think it was after Yule. I want to say I got this for my anniversary. That would have been in February. And I have actually read all the way through this. You could see I've got 2 bookmarks in it. Oh, you probably can't. I've got 2 bookmarks in it right now because there's a lot of information in here. I really like this book, Ancient Egyptian Magic by Eleanor Harris. There are things that I wasn't quite ready for. Like I'm going to start getting more into a more ancient Egyptian type divination practice. And I wasn't ready for that the first time that I read through it. So I'm kind of going back through. I really don't know when I got this book. I don't remember. I bought this a while ago now out at the Peddler and the Crow, my local witchy shop. But it wasn't this last time I went. So Judith Page and Ken Biles, Invoking the Egyptian Gods. I like this book, although I have to admit I like all the other books that I have far better on this topic. But I do like this book too. All of the books so far I have found very helpful. I've been trying to be very careful with the books that I'm choosing. This is the only one that I've bought without any reviews on it. But I still enjoy the book either way. So I got this deck of oracle cards for my anniversary. Everything I got for our anniversary was Egyptian themed. So I wanted this oracle deck. I already had this deck. I had gotten for my birthday, not this year, but the year before. And I really like this deck, but I wanted a different one. And I actually have found that I like to use these decks in conjunction with one another. I like to use them together. Because I find, for me, I love this deck of cards, but I'm not in love with the book that comes along with the deck. It's not very meaty, and sometimes you want a quick, easy reference guide, and sometimes you want something that's a little meatier. It's got a little bit more meat on its bones. Here's what the back of the cards look like. And I don't get that with this deck. So I like to pull the cards from this deck. And if I want more clarity, I pull some from this deck because this book is much meatier and it gives me more to go on. For me, this sort of thing, I am speaking with Aset or other deity. It's not about me. It's not about necessarily my own intuition. It's about divine connection. And sometimes when I'm reading through the book in here, there'll be phrases that she says that wouldn't necessarily have to do with the card at all. It's just whatever she's talking about that resonate, that hit home, that it's like a synchronicity or something clicks based on just words that are coming out of her mouth with regard to the card. And this one just doesn't have enough of that. It just has such a little write-up for each. There's just these 3 little, for any card, you have like basically the card speaking or whatever. And then, this is the message. And it's not always from Aset. Like this says channeled message from Aset. It's not always from Aset. This is like a little synopsis. And then they break it down for like abundance, love, work, travel, health, family, and future, which is great. But there's just this little paragraph, there's so little here for me to like grasp onto anything. Not that it's impossible. Like I said, I don't always need this deck, but if I feel like I could get more, like I want more guidance with regard to this topic, I'll pull from this. And like, it's amazing to me. Like the last time, look here. I'm not a card a day girl. I pull as I feel I need to pull. And so, like, I pulled from this deck, and I pulled one card each from this deck to give me more information the last time I pulled. And they all match up, but the last one was like so dead on. So this card is about Akashic Records, and it's about getting information that you have in your Akashic Record from past lives and pulling it into this life. And this card is called Past Life, Present Power. So like, I mean, they all lined up, but these two lined up so beautifully. I really think these decks work well together, and I'm very happy with them. Having them both in my practice together like that. I got a couple other things for my anniversary. Let's see. I already had this lapis necklace. I forget when I got it. I might have got it for my birthday or my anniversary the year before. But this year, I got these little vulture pendants. There's one here that I have that I wear on my neck. And they sent me an extra one. They sent us an extra one when we ordered as a thank you. Made of a different material. And so this one lives on my book of Heka. Vultures have become extremely significant in my path and practice. They started to be significant when we moved into this house, which is 8 years ago now, almost. But even more so, I started to realize their significance even more so once Aset made her presence known. So this isn't something I bought, but I still wanted to talk about it. So sometime in between Yule and I want to say it was probably in January, I made this. And this is just a blue lotus tincture. And so when I want to do deep meditations or astral travel or anything like that, I will take a couple of drops of this. I have some in a little dropper bottle out on Aset's shrine and put them under my tongue. And it's to enhance intuition and what have you. So I don't use it when I do divination. That may change and become part of my ritualistic pattern when it comes to divination as I move more deeply into this new phase, which I'm going to get into a little bit later. I have this past life meditation I've been waiting to do. We had people in to do the floors, finish the floors. We were tiling the floors. We're done finally, but it threw everything off. Like I was going to film this video last week. I was going to do that meditation. Like everything got thrown off. So hopefully this week I'll get to that meditation, but I will be taking a few drops of this under my tongue a little bit before I dive into that. I'm curious to see if it enhances anything, especially the dropper bottle that I have on Aset's shrine because it's being charged with her energy and the energy of everything on the shrine. Then came my birthday, and for my birthday, one of the things I got was this little bracelet my husband got for me just because he wanted to. It's kind of big on me, so I don't wear it all the time, but I do like it. I love the clasp. It's cool. He also got me this. It was on my list. And this book, I love this. The Hermetica, The Lost Wisdom of the Pharaohs. And this is not the original, obviously. This is kind of an abridged version. And they kind of, quote, what you might call translate. Not that I think it needs any translation, but they kind of break it down into modern, simple English, what's being said. So this is by Timothy Freak or Fricke. I don't even know. And Peter Gandhi, I don't know. All right. Anyway, and I love this. Well, I love the messages from Hermes or Thoth that are contained within. It is an easy read. I could be done with it already, but I am really taking my time and digesting it. When I read something, I might read it over and over again, and then I sit and I contemplate what has been said. And I'm probably going to read this thing. I'm probably going to wear it out reading it over and over again. I really love this. And just for anybody who doesn't know what it is. So what it says on the back, the figure of Hermes was venerated as a great and mystical teacher in the ancient world and was rediscovered by some of the finest minds of the Renaissance. The writing attributed to his hand are a time capsule of Egyptian and Greek esoteric philosophy and have influenced figures including Blake, Newton, Milton, Shelley, Shakespeare, Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, and Jung. Here is the first truly accessible compendium of the mystical philosophy attributed to the legendary sage god Hermes Trismegistus. I never know how to say that. which is a combination of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. Anyway, on and on and on. This is another book that I got for my anniversary, Egyptian Mythology, A Guide to the Gods, Goddesses, and Traditions of Ancient Egypt. And I'm already loving this book a lot. But again, with everything going on in my life and all, I'm reading, 5 books at once. I'm always reading more than one book at a time. At least all of these are on the same topic. And actually, I have another one that I'm reading, The Cauldron of Memory by Grimoire. Yeah. I'm always reading more than one book whenever I'm reading. But I am enjoying this book quite a bit as well. Again, one that might be a bit more, it's by Geraldine Pinch. Another one that might be a bit more on the academic side. This one is published by Oxford. The other academic one was published by Cambridge. And the two that are not so academic are published, I think, by Llewellyn or, a Witchy company. But I am very much enjoying it. I got this cute little notebook. I had wanted. It's just like a composition notebook. It is something that I am using to write down things that aren't specifically related to Heka Archimedes-ism. They're just sort of spiritual or insightful or what have you, significant to me personally in my journey right now that I don't think necessarily fit in my book of Heka. The first thing I have in here is about distillation, distilling thoughts, actions, and words down to their finest point, to their simplest, most potent, purest point. And then a meditation that I do daily now that I'm going to be adding to is written down in there as well. Okay, so on to the things that I got just because I had some tax money and wanted to. So I got some lodestone because I am a lodestone girl, and pretty much anytime I go into the Peddler and the Crow, my local witchy shop, I want to pick some up. So I did. While I was in there, I also got jasmine. I was nearly out, and now my little bottle is all the way full. And same patchouli leaf. I was completely out. I love working with patchouli leaf, and I was completely out. If she had had more, I would have bought more, but she only had a pack, so I got what she had. Let's see. I ordered some incense online, so I got this Nile lotus. I have 5 more of these this size. I got a whole case. I got this Egyptian pyramid by Satya, the Nag Champa people. Again, I got a case, and I got this honey rose. I got a case of that as well. All for Aset and possibly the other Egyptian deity. I got this really cool piece of serpentine. It's like a big die. I love it so much. I'm in love with this piece. So yeah, I got that. I got this beautiful little red jasper dish. It is going to be Aset's offering bowl now. Now that I've made this video, I'm going to go ahead and clean her shrine and put it up there. My husband and I are huge fans of Organite. I've discussed it on my channel before, and he got me this beautiful piece. It's a flower of life. Yep. So that's cool. He just got it for me out of the blue. No special reason. He just wanted to because he loves me. I got this cool washi tape. It is Egyptian themed. I will be using it mainly in my book of Heka, I'm sure. But I thought it was really cool. It kind of looks 3D here because obviously it's overlapping itself over and over again, but little hieroglyphs, and then just this is the kind of pattern that you could find throughout temples and whatnot in Egypt a lot. So got that. These little stickers came with it. They're kind of cute. I may use them like in my bullet journal or something. I don't know. I got this box. I wanted to keep cards in it, but it's too small for that. So I will do something else with it. Wood was very sacred in ancient Egypt. So maybe I'll make a travel altar in it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah, I really wanted it. I'm greedy, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like very fitting, and I know I'll figure out something to do with it. Speaking of the Eye of Horus, we got a little white sticker for the front of the car as well. And last but certainly not least, I got this scrying bowl. Now, if I do really get into scrying and it becomes a thing, this one costs like 16, 17 bucks before shipping. Got it on Amazon. It's from Azure Green. If I really get into this, I'm going to get an obsidian dish that's more like 30 bucks, and you can get ones that are even more expensive. But right now, I just want to start with this because I don't know what I'm doing. Divination in ancient Egypt was the same as magic. Like there wasn't they didn't differentiate. It was the same. So there's very specific ritual and procedures that go along with it. And I'm probably going to take some of that, what resonates with me and feels like powerful in my practice, and make up my own sort of ritual for it. And I imagine that I'll be scrying with water and oil because that's pretty typical of that tradition. I have practiced scrying in the past, though it has never been a huge part of my practice. And again, I want to come at this as not so much me trying to get psychic information in that sort of traditional way that people might think of it, and more of the way divination should be thought of, which is connecting to the divine and what comes out of that. So for me, this is definitely going to be about connecting with divinity and getting whatever messages I get out of that. I imagine they will, for the most part, be very significant to me personally. But I'm kind of excited about it and looking forward to it. When I have scryed in the past, more than seeing things, I hear things usually. So I'm kind of curious to see where that goes, if with practice that changes, or, what that looks like. But yeah, that's more meditation, which I'm meditating daily now, which has not been a part of my practice for a very long time, even though it's a short meditation. More trips to the astral and more divining in my future. All right, guys, basically that's it. I hope you enjoyed getting this little peek into what's going on in my world lately. Clearly there's a heavy theme here, but I mean, when I am presented with a junction in my path, when I am presented with a new horizon, whatever you want to say, like, I go for it. I jump in full force and give it my all. So that's what I'm doing. I, of course, will take you along for the journey. Hopefully that was interesting in some way, entertaining. Thank you, as always, for hanging out and allowing me to share my path, practice, experience, thoughts, whatnot with all of you. And until next time, much love and gratitude.